Hello, lovely people. I'm Shaq, and welcome. I wanted to share a little bit of what I've been doing for Mudwood Cottage this week. And I don't know if these little bells will ever make it into a commercial venture. I think these first ones are going to just end up staying here if they work. But I don't know if you can hear that. There is a piece of clay on the inside, so I don't know if it's going to rattle or if it's going to ring when it gets fired. And I have been making decorated petite bowls. I forgot to mark this one, so it should have markings down here, but it doesn't. Anyway, that's kind of what I've been playing around with for Mudwood. I got done with all of the seasonal stuff that needed to be done prior to these last few markets. If you're in the area, there is the procrastinator sale coming up that our products will be at that procrastinator sale. Arthur himself needs to be at another market, so we've hired somebody to work the procrastinator sale for us, so the products will be there. So that is kind of cool to get somebody to collaborate with on that, because they have stuff of their own to sell, and being able to get them to take some of ours too was a bonus. But today I want to go and continue on the gnome workshop, because I felt like, there's still stuff that could be put in there and make it even better. And so let's turn around the camera and do that. So I put together another wall to go on the side to give us more background for photography. It's just a piece of corrugated cardboard, Costco box actually. And as you can see, I wrapped the flooring. This is cardstock. I printed the flooring pattern on just a piece of cardstock. And I will put Mod Podge over it once it's dry. But right now, it is drying and it is trying to curl. So I've got it underneath a jug of glue to keep it from curling up too much, because it affects how it stands next to the box. And I have it standing outside the box kind of. Anyway, then I reached into the my wood supply box, and I found another perfect piece of basswood for a workbench. Cut some more 2-inch legs, so we're going to glue those up. And I also got into my back into those scrap pieces of wood, picked out one that I thought made a good frame or window, whichever way you want to look at it. This is just out of a catalog, a knitting catalog actually, and that's the same place that the other picture came from. So we'll glue that in there too. And when I was posting about, the purple lights, using the purple lights in the box, and I didn't really like it, but I couldn't find my white lights, I realized I did have one string of white lights that I'd found. There's supposed to be 6 of them around here someplace, but who knows where the rest are. But they were being used in the middle trees, the little luminary trees that I had put together, and I was like, well, the rest of it's all purple lit up, I can switch that to purple. So yeah, I swapped the lights so that we could have white lights in the box, because the purple just really was weird looking. It didn't illuminate correctly. Or I guess it's not correctly, you couldn't see the details in there as well. You could see them better than with no light, but it was kind of like a Halloween box, not a Yule box. So I changed that. So it now has white lights, and I'll show you that in a little bit. I had planned to take this week off from doing clay and possibly next week's video, although I think I want to go ahead and do next week's video, because I think we're going to do a chair for this box. And besides, I want to wish you guys, you know, happy holidays again. Just like I'm going to do right now. Happy holidays. I hope you're enjoying whatever it is you're participating in. Let's turn that over and just press it against the... Oh, everything slid. Okay, I think we're centered now. Set that aside and let it dry. I will, after I've got the wall coated in Mod Podge and dried, I'll probably glue this in place. I think that's what I did to the other one. Yeah, I'll glue it in place somewhere on the wall. But that's to go on our new wall so that it's not just a big open space. And I think maybe I should also add some of those other pieces, which I'm gonna have to dig those out here in a second. So we're gonna slide this up. So I haven't set this up yet, but I did. It just turned itself on. Yep. And it's probably time for a new battery as well, so because the lights are not that strong. So maybe I'll stop and put a new battery in there. Okay, it definitely needed new batteries. There we go. You can see in there now. And I got the smaller blueprints. Boy, that just was an evasive word. Printed out and cut out. And I added a tool rack over here. Let's see. I don't know. Did I share that last week? I can't remember. I know that it was something I did later on in the day, so I don't think I did. And so I'm gonna, I guess, rearrange the camera, and we'll actually, no, I'm not going to. We're gonna, so you see the light there. The floor will be like this, and the wall will just lean up against here. And that'll allow me to take photographs without having, without missing what's on the floor, you know, so that the workbench can fully be seen without seeing everything that's around it. So let's see if it's time to add the details to our workbench. Oh, turn off the light so we save the batteries for now. Although those other batteries have been in there for a couple of years. I didn't recognize the brand. Okay. I actually should have turned it over and put some weight on it like that, but I didn't. I don't know why I think this is going to help. Okay, let me go get my Posca pen. I'm not sure what to do here because our grain is going this way, and I'd really rather it look like the grain was going this way, but I think I'll be fighting it too much. So I'm just going to go with the grain that's here. And again, it was really nice to just reach in and find exactly what I wanted in the box of wood scraps already cut. Oh, and good news on the workbench front, I hope. The old workbench I was mentioning that I used to do metal work on, I found it. It is out in the yard. I think when it snowed 4 years ago, it was used as a sled to move things around. And we never, that was my wood stove. Just hope it didn't frighten anybody. Maybe you didn't even hear it. Anyway, it got left out there, which happens a lot when you live on land and you use something outside and you don't have a proper place to put things away. Like at the time, we didn't even have a garage tent, which we have now. So yeah, it got left out there, and I'm hoping I can bring it back in and use it. So it was two 2x12s put together to make a pretty sizable bench, but it's if I can fit it in here to do clay, it would be spectacular. So I am getting a little, I decided to switch to doing wear marks. right on the edge. Hopefully every time I slip off the edge, I'm not making something that's weird looking. Of course, I have to make that look like end grain, right? The end grain that it is. So it's like this, a big workbench, but the boards run the long way. And then it has two pretty hefty boards underneath it, holding them together, I think in like 2 or 3 spots. Anyway, it held up to being dragged around the property, hauling stuff. I can't even remember what it was. It was like groceries and other things. I don't remember. But they got the idea. It was there. And, you know, you had to, we were having to park. We were actually parking down the road because getting up here was not working out. Kind of like everybody who's like, you know, they're flooded out of their homes right now and they're having to use boats. That was our boat. Not that I would say being snowed in is the same as being flooded out. I think that's awful. But if you're lucky enough to be sheltering in place, I guess it's kind of cool to be able to take advantage of some conveyance. And as long as your house stays dry, it's so much easier than going to a shelter to wait for the waters to recede. And who knows how long it's going to take. It's all south of Seattle. King County is just massive flooding. Houses are definitely underwater partially. So I hope anybody, you know, dealing with that has got themselves someplace to shelter. It's a rough business. And yes, I know whose fault it is. Nature and policy. A policy we could work on. I don't know how I feel about these dots. I think I'm not going to do the other side. That way I have the option. If I decide I don't like the way this looks. Okay. And a little bit on the legs so it matches the other one. I applied to have my birth certificate changed, the name on my birth certificate. And then they said it was going to take like 8 to 10 months for it to get done. And this is where I'm kind of really grateful I was born in Washington State, not someplace else, because I checked into Georgia and there was nothing. I couldn't find anything on changing your birth certificate. So I legally did a name change in 2000. And that is what I put on my birth certificate. And I changed the gender designation to X. That way everything will agree. Oh my gosh, I had such a paperwork nightmare going on with my anytime I needed to do like a passport, which I'd let expire. And if you let your passport expire, you got to go through the whole process yet again. So yeah, I didn't realize what a nightmare it'd been so long. I'd forgotten how difficult it can be to get your all your IDs and everything set up correctly. And with the possibility of new regulations and stuff that are going to be really rough, I wanted mine all to match. So, and make a statement. And so hopefully by next summer, I'll have my birth certificate and I can go and get my ID completely corrected. I can do the designation without any paperwork, but I have to have, if I want an advanced or the, what do you call it? It works like a passport, driver's license. I think I have to have the birth certificate for that. So anyway, I'm waiting. Let's, fingers crossed it comes through. So I'm going to set up and we'll look at it all set up. Okay, we've got the wall temporarily set up and the picture temporarily on there. And they're working at the bigger workbench, which that looks cool. I like that. So I don't know, maybe I should have cut the wall to fit inside the space, and maybe I'll do that. I don't know. I haven't decided. I'm gonna wait until the glue is dry because it doesn't cut very well when it's still wet. So I hope that you've enjoyed another workbench and picture assembly and just coming along for a little short video, and that you have a delightful day and a wonderful week. And I'll see you in the next one where we're gonna give our little gnome lady a chair to sit down and knit in. Bye-bye.